Hi, I'm Brandon, and I recently did a week-long hike on the Pinhoti Trail. And I would like to start by saying that I'm by no means a hiking expert or a gear expert, but when I was planning for this trip, I watched a lot of gear list videos and gear review videos, and I really enjoyed them. So I'm thinking that my perspective might help someone that's new to hiking to enjoy their experience a little bit more. So I'm going to get started with my big three and just go through my gear. So I went with a fairly inexpensive pack. I went the REI Trail 40. It has a little bit of a frame to it, but it is not by any means a major frame. It's a fairly lightweight bag, but would not probably be considered ultralight. Here's my water bottle here. So, in this, another unique aspect of this bag is it comes with its own rain cover, and it fits right there in the bottom of the bag. And I was able to fit all my gear fairly comfortably. I did a lot of practice hikes and single overnights in preparation for this trip, and it took me a little bit to get used to the bag. I had some lower back pain. I think that was more a result of the way I was packing the bag. But overall, I'd say it's a really good pack, great for the money. Of course, it's the only pack I've ever used, so I'm certainly packs that would be better out there, but it was great for my first hiking experience. For my sleep system, I did a ton of research, and I ended up with an amazing piece of equipment. The Enlightened Equipment Enigma Quilt. This is a phenomenal piece of equipment. It just brings me joy to think about it, and I will certainly be doing a more in-depth review on this piece. This was my quilt. So it's not your traditional sleeping bag. You have a toe box, and then it's open in the back here. And it was phenomenal. I mean, it was great. I stayed plenty warm the entire time. We hiked in March, and we had some cold nights, and it was great. And it came with this little stuff sack, which I think this is Cuben fiber. Someone out there, please tell me if this is Cuben fiber or not. Someone from Enlightened Equipment, make a comment. If it's not Cuben fiber, then I'd like to know. If it is, then please let me know that as well. For my sleep system, or the other part of my sleep system, I just had the traditional pad. Everyone's seen this, the Thermarest Z-Lite. It was okay. I think that if I was going to be tent camping again, I would like to try the more robust Thermarest sleeping pad, but this was good. Now for my shelter, I used the Bryce 2-person tent. It was really a great tent. Certainly wouldn't be considered ultralight by any means, but it really isn't too heavy, and it really worked well. We were in a really heavy thunderstorm one night, and I mean, it did not leak at all. And I didn't do any extra taping or anything to the pack. So I kept everything separate in my pack just for ease of access and being able to move things around a little bit. So I have the poles, the stakes, and a little bit of paracord, and the tent and ground sheet. Now I'll move on to my clothing. So I carried this North Face jacket, which it wouldn't be considered probably a rain jacket by hiking standards. It does have a little bit of a liner to it, so it does keep you kind of warm. It has a hood. So this is, I mean, I wear this all the time. I mean, I've had this thing for several years and it's held up great. I mean, it's a phenomenal jacket. I don't know what else you would need. I mean, I'm sure you could find something lighter, but this is great. Being that it was March, we had some varying temperatures, and this gave me a little bit of extra insulation and also protected me from the rain. And it's something I'm just really comfortable with. I'm used to wearing it. I'm not terribly concerned about damaging it or anything like that. It holds up great, and it's a phenomenal piece of equipment. And then I also got a puffy. This is a down jacket. It's by Hawk & Co. This is just an inexpensive Amazon down jacket. It stuffs into the pocket, and gets down pretty small. So I was very happy with this. I didn't wear it a lot, but it was nice to have at night when the temperature dropped, or early in the morning when temperature was dropped. And this with my North Face jacket, I mean, I would be pretty comfortable, in some pretty low temperatures with that. And then as you can see, it stuffs really easily right into the pocket here. So very easy to do. Probably gonna damage it now. Trying to do it all fast for the camera, but yeah, just packed up nice and small. Puffy jacket. And then for my other clothing, I wore this well-worn Patagonia hat. I've been using it to run a lot. That's why it looks so terrible, but great, just a hat, keep the sun out of my face. And I started out with 2 pairs of actually Cannondale socks. They're cycling socks. I'm a big cyclist, so I had these already. And these held up great. They kept my feet, my feet tend to sweat a lot, and so these were good to, keep my feet ventilated, prevent them from sweating. Then I got both pairs of my socks wet, and I started to have a problem with my feet, and luckily my buddy let me use this pair of Timberland socks that don't match, but it worked, and they were great. And then for my shirt, I just had this, I have no idea, somebody gave me this a long time ago. It's some kind of technical fabric, but it's great just for wicking moisture. It's just a shirt that wicks moisture, and it was good. Then I wore North Face pants. Primarily I wore the shorts, and then the pants zipped off, but kind of like the jacket, it was nice to have in the mornings or at night when things got cold. But then I wore the pants with the built-in belt, plenty of pockets, very versatile, pretty light, water-resistant pair of shorts. For my shoes, I cannot say enough about these shoes. They're phenomenal. Trail running shoes, hiking shoes, work shoes if you're on your feet a lot. I see people wearing these all over the place. The Salomons, forget the exact name of the model of the Sensaflex, that might be, or the X Mission 3. These are phenomenal shoes. I will certainly be doing an additional review on these shoes. As you can see, I've continued to wear these shoes on a regular basis. I trail run, several times a week, and I wear these. They've held up phenomenally. They're probably I would consider these one of 2 best pairs of running shoes I've ever had. Then for my trekking poles, I use these Fox Deli Outdoor Gear trekking poles. These were, fairly inexpensive. I have the snow cage on these, just because I lost the other one. So that's what I used. And I had a Garmin cycling computer that I used to mount right on here just to kind of gauge our mileage and our time, that kind of thing. And it worked out pretty well. I'm not sure how accurate it is walking through the woods. I think it does cut off switchbacks and that type of thing sometimes. But, it's cool to be able to upload to Strava or something like that and see, where you traveled. And, obviously if you have people that are interested in following you, they can follow you as well. I just thought it was cool to have on the trekking pole. It's easy to look at. Obviously our watch is easy to look at as well. I realize that, but I had this Garmin cycling computer, and so I made it work. For getting into some more technical things here, for my light, I used this Black Diamond headlight. It was phenomenal. We didn't do a ton of night hiking. We did some. It was just nice to have. It was really reliable. Didn't have any problems with it. It was great. And then for my battery charger, I have this. I got this on Amazon. It's probably a little bit overkill for a week-long hiking trip, but it's a great. It's awesome. I mean, to be able to charge things. I've used my phone for music and different things a lot, so I used it I charged a lot of stuff, and it has tons of charge on it. I mean, a week I didn't run out, so I use it all the time for different stuff, you know, when I'm traveling and charging on airplanes, that kind of thing. So, phenomenal product. It's fairly inexpensive on Amazon. I will certainly be posting links to where all the products in the comments below. So this is a phenomenal product as well, and it's fairly inexpensive on Amazon. For my trowel, I use the, what they call it, the Deuce of Spades. It's extremely lightweight, and I just had this on a carabiner on the outside of my pack. It is a little bit tough to dig if you're having to, you know, to actually dig down into something fairly dense, or through any roots or anything. You're not going to be breaking roots or anything like that with it, but, you know, if you're somewhat picky about where you do your business, then certainly you can make it happen with this. Then for my toiletries and such, I just had, you know, I've used a regular size toothbrush that I cut off, just a little bit of toothpaste, toilet paper, that kind of thing. I had a little first aid kit with an emergency blanket, some Band-Aids, antihistamines, antidiarrheal, a little wound care thing, some sunscreen, some batteries. You know, I didn't get crazy with the first aid kit. For my water system, I had this 1 liter smart water bottle because everyone knows it fits right on the Sawyer system. And then I also had a 1/2 liter bottle that I used. Looking back, probably 1.5 liters because I carried 1.5 liters of water the majority of the time. It was probably a little bit overkill, but it's certainly, you know, you always want to have enough water. And this being one of my first hiking trips, I was a little paranoid to run out of water. So. And obviously, everyone knows the Sawyer Mini. People say that the Mini is slower. I haven't tried the regular Sawyer system, but I didn't feel that the Sawyer Mini was too slow. When we got to a water source, I was typically ready for a break anyway, and to sit down and filter my water, I didn't feel like this took too much time. Just a pair of headphones. And then for my cook system, I just had a Walmart, you know, fuel canister, another Amazon buy, my little Amazon little stove, worked great, no problems with it. It came with this little case, it's really nice. And then I had this little, I think this came from REI, and it had a little case with a carabiner on it, and yeah, it was from REI, and it's just a little camp cloth. This was nice, you know, to be able to clean up, you know, dry yourself off, whatever you need to do. And then I think this came with a larger cook set that someone gave me, and I just used the folding spork, which I really liked. And then I think this is a Walmart coffee cup that I used. You know, like I said, I had a more robust cook set, but the more I kind of worked out what I was going to take, this was really all I needed. So it worked out good. So if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them comments below. Thanks for watching.